Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to our veal special. What we're going to do today is we're going to make some veal parmesan. We're also going to make something else. Since we already will have a breaded station set up, not everybody eats veal. So for those that don't eat veal, we have some chicken breast. We're going to turn it into chicken parmigiana for those that are Italian. And we're going to have some fun here today. So today, I've already selected a cut of veal that I like, and I'm going to show you guys how to make this a uniform cut. Now the package says it's a veal chuck chop. There's all sorts of different chops or cuts of veal. However, the main thing is you want to make these pieces uniform. You want to get them breaded right. You want to get them deep fried right or fried right in a pan, and then we're going to finish it off in the oven, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, for spices, what I've got and seasonings is all it is oregano, garlic pepper, onion powder, pepper, and breadcrumbs, which goes to this breading station, which we'll talk about in just a few minutes. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this around this bone, and we're going to get this bone out of there. We're going to take the bone out. Now you can start with a center cut veal chop, and you won't have to do any of this. It won't have a bone in it, so you'll be good to go. But I have a dog, and my dog will probably love that veal bone. So also you can see that this piece of veal has a piece of fat in the middle of it. We're going to trim around that. We're going to cut that out. We don't want it. We don't want it. But I do have a dog, and my dog will love it. So we're gonna go ahead and trim it all the way down, and we're gonna get all that out. Now, these pieces, however non-uniform they may look or appear, we're gonna get it looking uniform. So the very first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our meat mallet, and we are going to thin this out into a uniform piece of meat. Now I flip this over, and you see it has silver skin on it. Now last week we talked about silver skin, and we talked about it not being a part of something that we want to eat. So we're going to trim that out of here. We're going to get it out of there. All right? We're going to take all of it out of there. We're going to get rid of it. Last week, we found silver skin on the pork ribs, and I had you guys take it out of there just simply because we don't need it. Now, we're going to continue to finish off making uniform pieces. Don't try that at home. And we're going to get this thin. This is also a tenderizing process as well. And you can see these are starting to look like medallions. And we're going to go ahead and do that with all of it. Not to worry about the small pieces, because we're going to bread it and we're going to get it moving like so. All right. So now I'm going to take this fat off. We're going to cut this piece into something that looks uniform. So we'll just cut that in half. So now we have 1, 2, 3, really 4 medallions, or what will look like medallions. Now, we're going to lay this all out. And we're going to season it. And we're going to start off with the onion powder. We're going to season it. Oregano. The Italians love it. Garlic. And black pepper. Now, So as not to waste, I am going to move these pieces around to where I got plenty of spices on my board and seasonings. And I'm going to flip them over. And I'm going to look and see, did I get them all? So I want to make sure that they're uniform, so I'm going to apply a little bit more to it. The more, the merrier. It's not going to hurt it. One thing you guys will notice is, or the lack of, is I don't have any salt out here. Why? Because the tomato sauce, the marinara that we're going to put over this, eventually it has enough sodium in there where you don't need any more salt intake for the rest of the day. So with that being said, we're going to move this meat, all of this, over, and we're going to start setting up our breading station. And we'll get back to this meat in just a little bit. So for now, we're going to set up a traditional breading station. And our traditional breading station is going to be, it's going to be egg wash, breadcrumbs, flour, in this order. Egg wash, flour, breadcrumbs. So we're going to take a cup of milk. Did you guys see me spill that milk? I hope not. And we're going to take 2 eggs. We're going to crack these eggs. We're going to put 1 cup of milk in with those, and we're going to beat this. And we're beating this into a light egg wash. Okay? So, and I'm sorry, I got the order wrong. Sometimes that happens, okay? So the way you want to do this is you want the flour first, the egg wash second, the breadcrumbs third, and then right into the frying pan. So I've already preheated 2 frying pans for the sake of the exercise that we're going to use. But right now I'm going to show you about this veal, about these cuts. So we have our veal. We're gonna bread this veal. And you're gonna end up with something that looks like that. Okay, you can see it's on there really good. We'll just put that right there because once we start frying, once we start putting this in the pan, and I have a preheated pan that I've already applied just enough oil to cover the pan. And we're gonna fry all this off at the same time. Now, I mentioned something about chicken, about some chicken breasts, about some chicken parm. And if you do this at home and you're doing veal or you're doing anything else besides chicken or with chicken, you're gonna want to make sure that you always do the chicken last. Why? Because you don't want to contaminate your work surface by getting a bunch of chicken blood or chicken juices from the chicken mixed with any of the rest of this food, because it all cooks at different temperatures. Veal, you don't have to cook all the way through to any kind of internal temperature necessarily. However, chicken, you have to cook it until it's at least 160, 165 to make sure that it's cooked all the way through. The main thing is you don't want to kill anybody by giving them salmonella or anything that has raw chicken products in it. That is, it's essential that everything be cooked all the way through. So right now we're going to turn and we're going to start frying the veal off. And I've already preheated a pan, so hopefully we'll get some sizzle here in a second. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and kick it up. You getting this? Come on in a little bit. So we're gonna let that cook, and while we're letting that cook, we're gonna go right back to what we were doing with the breading station, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do it with the chicken now. So we're gonna take our chicken breast. And once I find it, we're gonna take this chicken breast. So this is chicken breast that I have already taken off of a whole chicken that I actually cleaned and cut up this morning. We're gonna take these 2 pieces of breast. We're gonna leave the tenders for something else that we'll do at another time. So we're gonna use the very same process, and we're gonna start pounding these chicken breasts out. Okay. And we're just lightly pounding this. I don't know what it sounds like on video, but we're just lightly pounding it out. And we're going to get a nice uniform cut with this chicken as well. Now, I told you guys about cross-contamination and why not to do the chicken first. But it would have been okay if I wanted to use the same cutting board to do that. I just chose not to because I have another cutting board right here. And what we're going to do with this chicken is we're going to do this very same process with the seasonings. We're going to take the onion powder, and we're going to apply that on there. We're going to take the oregano, we're going to apply that on there. We're going to take the garlic powder. And we're going to apply that on there. I'm going to flip them. And we're going to come back with them again, doing the same exact thing. Now, one thing I didn't tell you guys is with these breadcrumbs that we have, these are already seasoned breadcrumbs. So they already have a number of herbs, a number of spices. They have pretty much everything already in it. So if you don't get a good uniform seasoning on the chicken, it's really not all that important, okay? So we're going to go ahead with this. Flour, egg wash, breadcrumbs. And you should end up with something that looks like this, okay? Incidentally, this is 1 whole chicken breast. These 4 pieces are 1 whole chicken breast. So when you go to a restaurant and you order this, you're not even getting a whole chicken breast as part of your meal, because these pieces, they look and are huge. You're going to get about half of this, which is about half of a chicken breast with your chicken parm or even your veal parm order. So these places are making money, so that you have to demand that when your food comes out that it's right, okay? That it's cooked right, that it's cooked the way you want it. And now you know one of the secrets of our business. Now, it is now time to check on our veal and to start turning it, okay? So we got this cooked almost all the way through on one side. It's a little done, but it's okay, all right? Because I'm going to show you guys what to do with this. And we're going to keep it moving, and we're going to go ahead with our chicken, and we're going to start searing it off as well. And we're not going to crowd the pan, but we'll just let that cook. Alright, so I'm going to prepare my pan for this veal. And I'm going to do that by putting a little bit of marinara in the bottom of a pan. And we're going to transfer this to this pan, like so. We'll get rid of this. Done with that. And we're gonna sauce this again right over the top of it, like so. And lastly, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, and what I have here is mozzarella cheese, and we're just gonna take a hand grater and we're gonna grate it right over the top of this. If you're like me, the more cheese, the merrier. Okay, now we have some people that are not too crazy about a whole lot of cheese. So we'll call it at that. This is what it should look like, okay, before you put it in the oven. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop this in the oven for about 10 minutes, and then we'll get it out. It'll be nice golden crisp. It'll be brown on top. The cheese will be completely melted. You can also stick it under a broiler for any amount of minutes until the cheese browns, and you're going to be good to go. So we'll put this in the oven, and my oven is set on 350, and we're going to leave that in there for just a few minutes. So this is going to be part one of this video. We're going to stop this video. When you come back, we're going to show you what the finished product looks like for both the veal parmesan and the chicken parmesan. We got some spaghetti already cooked. We did it ahead of time. You guys know how to cook spaghetti. You just make sure that it's cooked all the way through, or it's al dente, however you like it. And we're going to be ready to do the plate up. So we'll be back with another video that'll be part two of the veal parmesan, chicken parmesan video, and we'll see you guys in a little bit.